Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I leapt head first into the black, searching for answers. I found only more questions. My memories fade with each step. I feel a weight. It's so heavy. I find nothing. And here in darkness, I awaken for the first time. My skin is on fire. My lungs ache for air. My body's too weak to stand. To fight back. The pain pierces every thought. Death would be a kindness that I do not deserve. Let me die broken. Hey, we're here. Welcome to Broken. This is episode 24. Hope you guys are all doing great. It's been a little while, a couple weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody doing good?
It.
Same here. Miss you guys. So, why don't we do this? Why don't we go around the horn, have everybody introduce themselves if they can, as usual. Then we'll talk a little bit about what happened last time, where you guys are at right now, what's going on in the game, and then we'll jump into it and see if you guys can survive another day in the Nataku, I guess. So, right. Why don't we do it in reverse order this time? We'll start with you, Wolfy.
This is payback for last time, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I'm Wolfy. I play Derrin, and he is very happy so far to be back in a place where there's people around, people that he can talk to, people that he can take advantage of a little bit, and, just sink his teeth into the city.
Right on. Sink your teeth into the city.
That doesn't sound sus.
We will see how that
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sus.
All right. Thank you, Wolfy. Zack, tell us about your character. What's going on with you? What are you doing?
I'm Zack. We are currently at an end right now. Sorry, I was distracted.
You are currently.
We're currently at an inn.
Yes, you are currently at an inn. Tell us a little about your character, Zack.
I could take off my own body parts and do some cool shit with them.
You can, yeah.
Just so you could bleep that out.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Zack. All right. You know what? We'll just go to the next person. Caitlin, tell us a little about yourself and your character.
Yeah, hello, I'm Caitlin. I play the little trash gremlin Naela. She can connect to the, through brain waves with the Leviathan that controls all mammal life. And with that, I scared Cassidy last session and made her think I drowned.
That you did. Kind of scared everybody a little bit. It sounded like
yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like as soon as you went over the cliff, everyone was like, "Well, she's dead, I guess."
And I love drugs, and I hate that we're in the city now.
Yeah, there's
Ooh,
that.
Because I'm not used to it.
Yeah, there's too many people here, for sure. A lot of noise. Just really uncomfortable place, especially if you've lived out in the rural parts of the Umbra for basically your entire life. All right, cool. Thank you, Naela.
And I didn't curse. You're welcome.
Good job, everyone! Give her a round of applause.
Oh god, eventually we're gonna have a curse jar and it's gonna be hilarious.
I'm gonna do that.
What are we gonna put in it since we're all over the voice?
I don't know. I'll think of something. We can do like a in-game curse jar or something.
Seems about to go broke.
Seems like a little bit of
the Amadai die.
All right. Well, thank you, Caitlin. Mori, tell us about yourself and your character.
My character's name is Cassidy. She's the team's all-around technician kind of character. She has an adorable little AI pet that's kind of going sassy thanks to somebody's influence. Not gonna name any names.
Derrin, cough, cough.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She did stab a screwdriver through a trekking watch last episode and threatened to how do we do it so that way he doesn't have to bleep us?
He threatened to unalive
Minecraft
him.
them.
Unalive in Minecraft.
Thank you. The guy who attempted to put it on her. And then she also threatened to hunt him down if he put it on any of the caravan that came with them.
Right. Yeah, because he was like a middleman for some RQ or something who were trying to quote unquote do some research or something like that, right?
Yeah. It was like a sleep research, but we didn't. At least Cassidy didn't quite believe him on who it was for.
I think a few of you were wearing them, right? A few of you were doing the research.
Wolfy, Dank, and Zack, I think.
Nope.
So just Wolfy and Dank.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just us because we both wanted to touch him.
Yeah. And you, Wolfy, you got a success on your thing, didn't you?
I finally can make memories as other people.
Yeah, that's right. Cool.
I
Right.
get to decide if this Ailbra is good or not.
Yep, basically. The power of the DM is in your hands. Okay. Well, thank you, Maury. Gerblin. Nice intro.
Wow, I guess I come with my own intro now.
You have a
Sweet.
theme song.
Tell us a little about yourself
Yeah.
and your character.
My phone was so excited that you're streaming that it just had to tell me.
Right on.
Yeah, so I play Enigma, and they are feeling more at home in the city, I think, than anyone other than maybe Derrin at this point, since they've been through here before, so it's fairly familiar territory for them. And I got to go track some folks down. It was great. After the little bar fight, got to go make sure Cassidy came back without any problems. So that was fun. Earning my keep as party dad. Just typically the character that I play.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Here we go. I'm definitely not tweeting the show out. Apologies. Thank you, Gerblin. Dank, tell us a little bit about yourself, your character. What's going on right now?
I am the party's resident murder hobo and crazy uncle. I'm about to do some things that are probably not acceptable according to the Geneva Convention.
I've done that before.
Ever.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there is no Geneva Convention in Space Australia.
Yet. After what I do, they're going to make one.
They'll have to come up with one.
The Nineveh Convention.
Oh my god.
Brightlander's gonna have like that one random memory that's gonna like hark back to. It's gonna be like, we need to make this.
Yeah.
Some things are about to go down. There's going to be mystery, intrigue, wanton violence, probably.
I was with you on 2 of those.
Okay. Sneaky violence. There we go.
I can do the sneaky part. I'll have you do the violence. I'll look away.
There we go.
And
Teamwork
plug
makes
your
the
ear
dream work.
holes.
Literally dream.
Yay. Puns for days.
All right. Right on. Well, I wish you luck with your... Are we 10 minutes in? We are genocide. All right. Cool. All right. Well, so where we left off last time, you guys had that crazy interaction at the end with the research guy, where he was just, trying to find some people to participate in his research and earn some money. And you guys threatened to kill him for no reason at all. I'm just kidding. That's not exactly how it went down. I always like to favor these things, skew them in my direction when I do the recaps a little bit, in case you guys can't tell. Okay. So you did end up talking to like the innkeeper, at least the person working the counter, and finding out that she is a vagabond of Brighttown. And the lady with the flute, as you put it. And she basically told you guys that have this like garden area, this place where they do a lot of agriculture work, essentially, and said that you can do some work there for a couple hours, I think, in order to stay at the inn, have a place to sleep, a machine to get into, whatever you need. And I think you guys took her up on the offer. And you also met like the groundskeeper, basically, like the person who does, who's like in charge of all the work that gets done in the garden area. And I think they were escorting you towards like the shed with all the tools in it, and gonna just like show you some stuff you could do to help out.
Oh yeah.
And is that where we left off? I think that might be.
That was where we left off. Yeah.
there was the whole interaction with the kid at the dock where like you found out he was making a raft as like part of a coming of age thing. Then there was.
I don't trust you. You don't have mushrooms.
What'd you say, Maury?
And then he clammed up because I don't have a necklace.
Yeah, he climbed up a little bit. Then you guys were walking through the streets and you had a person like bump into Derrin, like shoulder check him. And then his friend was like, "Come on, don't start any trouble. Let's go." And then there was the person in the alley, the lady who was like holding her a baby. He was walking by the inn when you guys were headed towards the inn, and then we saw her duck into an alleyway, and there was a reveal that it wasn't a baby. It was a nightmare that she was taking out to play. Of course, though, it's not like, it's not like anything bad was happening from it or anything. Okay. And then the interaction at the end. I think somewhere along the way, you guys learned about the Tower of Merrick. I think that was something that came up in conversation with somebody.
Yes.
Yes.
You visited the Wise Folk Council and met someone who offered you a dinner. Was that Okralo? I don't recall.
Yeah, the politician lady.
Yeah. Basically, you saw this show going up on stage where another politician, another wise folk, as they call them here, was bringing someone into the folds. Someone who was an Arku, and basically how this would mean good news and prosperity for Nataku, and like really putting on a show of it. And the lady watching from the crowd was like talked to you guys shortly, talked to Derrin mostly, I think, and was talking about how this was all a show, and that she was worried about tensions with the Arku and all the refugees coming in, and how things were about to turn sour. Or that they were trying to get a tighter grip maybe on the vault, or something was off about all of that. I think you guys...
Yeah, it's all a sham. I love it.
Yeah, I think you guys all detected that, or at least that there was some dishonesty going on. I think there was something going on with that.
I definitely did. I don't know if Enigma did, but it was just us two there.
Right. Yeah, you guys were still
Yeah,
separated at that point.
I didn't roll for it, but Derrin did lean over and say something about it, so.
Okay. And so if I recall, the plan was the next day to go have dinner. The next lapse is what they would say here. To go have dinner at her place, and like she's gonna be sponsoring you guys, getting you guys your necklaces, right? That's kind of the arrangement. And maybe she needs you guys to take care of a thing. We'll see. Such as, I don't know, like a possible Arku uprising or something. Who knows what could be happening. You guys also have this hidden Inky facility that might be here that you need to check out. I recall has something to do with Silas, potentially.
He's waiting for us.
Yes, if I recall, Silas said something to Dank about meeting him in the city. So there's the implication that he could be like here. He could be here in like an Inky bunker or something. So we'll see what happens with that. Why don't we do this? We'll jump in with the gardening work, I suppose. So let me see here.
Just looked into the chaos.
I haven't checked it yet. Let me see. By the way, if you guys are watching, the Discord's public, and these folks go crazy with the memes. I don't know what I'm recommending you look at yet, but
I don't know if it's worse or better with now knowing what they're saying.
If you want to check out the Discord, you're watching on YouTube, it's in the links in the description down below. But I just plugged it over Twitch chat. Oh, okay. I've missed quite a bit here. Looks like. Okay. Wow.
Remember, you love us.
You guys are hilarious. All right. I want to put on something a little more chill. Let's see. What
Yeah, that's combat music.
It's not really combat. It's kind of like it's tension music for sure. Let's see what else we got here.
I think we ended it right as Enigma, Naela, and Cassidy were getting back to the inn.
Right, because you all had stepped out, or you had stormed out, I think.
Yeah.
And they went after
she
you.
threatened to the guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, Naela's still pissed at Dank and Wolfy.
You can have a nice long chat about that.
Well, let's go back over to the end screen, shall we? So we see do we see the group of you walking back in to the inn?
Yes.
Maybe that's the shot we pick up on. So it was Naela, Mori, Cassidy. Where's there? Okay, let me grab. Why is it not? Oh, because I'm on the wrong screen. That's why. I'm trying to do it from the audience view, which is not what you're supposed to do. And Enigma.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I still have my arms swung around both of them.
All right. And everybody else was inside still, right? Have they gone to do the gardening yet, or are you guys waiting to all go do that together?
I believe we were waiting until they came back.
All right. So, yeah, you walk in back into the inn with your arms around them, and you see the rest of the group sort of like sitting up near the bar or just standing around, kind of looking at you expectantly when you walk back in. Over to one corner of the inn, we see a group of guys wearing like sort of like leather cloaks. It's clearly like hide. It's probably not like high quality leather, but it's like hide leather cloaks. And they're standing around this board on the wall, this like square shaped board with like rings on it. And we see as you guys walk in, like the camera, you guys walk by the camera, and then as you walk by, the camera focuses on the across the room, and we see like a guy walk up to the board and he like grabs like this wedge shaped piece of dark metal that's attached to the board and like wrenches it off the board. And then he kind of grins at the other guy and nods. And then he walks in the direction you guys are coming from, and it kind of looks like something weird's about to happen. But then he stops and turns around and he throws the piece of metal at the board, right? So they're playing. Yeah, they're playing darts. We see the other guy like pull a device out from his cloak, and he pushes a button on it, and then the other guy kind of nods, and we hear him in the background say something like, "All right, if I hit this next one, you owe me 100 credits." And then we see the group of you kind of like regroup with the others. What would you all like to do?
Oh, gambling. This really is civilization.
I don't want to feel like a bum. I want to get that gardening done.
Yeah, we should probably get that done fairly soon.
And
Well,
goof off
found our
again.
wayward members.
Oh, good.
I would have come back.
Are you going to
Yes,
stab
but-
anybody now?
She narrows her eyes at him.
Do
No
not.
stabbing. I made sure that they got back safe.
Do not undermine me again. Am I understood?
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, what?
You
Both you and Dank, because you both went against her wishes, and she's not too happy about that.
I mean, you were gonna kill a guy in a town where we're just like trying to not stand
I
out.
was not going to kill
Cassidy
him.
wasn't trying to kill him. She just wanted to punch him in the face.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, this guy looks like a stiff wind could do him in.
Do not
Cassidy
undermine
doesn't
me
look
again.
Much better, but okay.
Undermine you.
Are you guys
I-
talking out loud?
I guess.
At this point, yes.
The barkeep leans over the bar, and she says, yeah, he's not the strongest in a fight, certainly, but important. That one, he's got connections.
I kind of figured as much.
Derrin, like, gestures towards her, like, see, it would have been a problem.
Yeah, if anybody does the things that cause the problems, it's usually me.
No, we're also not going there.
We'll see about that.
I truly hope you two know what you're doing.
This is where I shine. I listened to everything that you had to say out when we were where you, like, have your skills. This is where my skills are.
I dabble a bit, but, yeah, no. He's the master here when it comes to these kinds of things.
I will just simply tell you, be careful where you place your trust.
I trust no one.
Exactly.
My skills are with electronic shit. You wear it anyways.
There's a reason for this.
Yes. Mine is mostly over, but it is interesting. Besides, like we've discussed before, we have plenty of ways to make sure that anything that is not necessary or wanted to be let out can be changed or removed. I say this quieter as I get a little bit closer to her, trying to make sure that not the entire inn can hear that bit.
Make a stealth check. Or it could be like
Okay.
talking.
Whispers.
If you got a skill that might apply here to like keeping something on the down low, you have a lot of social skills. I think one of those might apply.
Nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do have stealth though.
All right.
Yes, so I have sneaking. I have sneaking +2 from 2 memories, and then nonverbal communication from another, so that'd be +3.
Sure.
Get all of these things. There we go. It didn't roll.
Oh no!
Oh, it's broken.
Is it borked again?
It's broken.
All right, all right.
Ha
I can fix. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, okay.
You can just roll 6 dice or 4 dice.
Yeah.
You can do that if you want in the meantime. But I'm just gonna fix the API really quick.
2 successes.
All right. Yeah, I think you're able to. You're pretty sure you're able to keep anybody from overhearing what you're trying to say.
Cool.
She just kind of gives Derrin a blank look and sighs.
I'm curious, what's Ernest's opinion on all of this?
Yeah, you look over at Ernest.
He has no idea what's going on.
He looks really confused and like kind of lost, like he doesn't know where he is. but he makes eye contact with you for a second, and then you can see like you can tell by the look on his face that he calms down slightly. Like he kind of seemed like for a minute there he was about to like maybe panic.
Yeah.
Naela, do you want to stay with Ernest and I'll work extra to cover you guys? And she's gonna look at the barkeep and be like, "Is that okay?"
Yeah, she nods. She says, of course.
Yeah, we can take care of that if Ernest is feeling bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay back and take care of him.
All right. What are you gonna do? Just like sit with him?
So sit with him, give some of my crage I will share with him, kind of like find a pipe or what have you, or try to make some tea or something along those lines to give him, like, so it's easier for him, and just to kind of keep him as calm as she possibly can. And answer just kind of be like, we made it to Nataku, everything is fine, the others are gonna go out into the garden and do some gardening so we can stay here.
He make a roll to, I guess this would be like calming him down. Or something along those lines. If you got a skill that might apply, you can certainly lawyer it.
Is that something that I could assist with?
Possibly, yeah. Assistance will get you an extra dice.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help.
All right, so it gives you a +1.
Calm mind.
Yeah, so...
What are you doing to help Enigma?
Probably kind of sees, what's happening and the slight panic, and kind of comes over and sort of sits and kind of with the, slight hand gesture, just kind of gestures to kind of myself and like deep breaths in and hold and deep breaths out, like not verbally necessarily, but like trying to be a like, hey, match my breathing here, help you kind of relax and calm down.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think the two of you managed to like calm him down, keep him kind of lucid. Yeah, he nods and listens and does as instructed, and his breathing gets steadier, as opposed to taking these short, harsh breaths. He's breathing slower, stretching the breaths out, and he says, "So this is Nataku, huh?" He kind of looks around the room. He kind of looks disappointed. And he says, I expected it to be nicer.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. He kind of nods, and he says, I could, he says, do they have, he struggles to think of the name for it. And he kind of like snaps his finger a couple times. And he says, sleep machines. Do they have them here?
The DDM machines, yeah.
Thank you. Good. Okay. I could use a good rest, I think. He like rubs the bags under his eyes, and he says, I'm not sure why. Must have been a rough trip. I'm feeling particularly exhausted.
You're fine. Go rest. I'll check on you in a few.
He says, do we have a room?
She'll look back to the barkeep.
Yeah, she's watching cautiously, kind of. Like, she doesn't want to seem like she's staring or intruding, but she's clearly like paying attention. And when you look back at her, and she kind of nods and she says, "I can take you to your room if you like, sir." What was the name? Ernest?
Yes.
And he looks to you like, "Can I trust this lady?"
Yes, you can trust her.
And yeah, he kind of nods and he stands up and he says, "Yes, please." And he still seems kind of like uncomfortable, like he's not sure exactly what's going on. But yeah, we see her like, she probably like grabs his hand, not like firmly or anything, but just like to walk him the rest of the way.
Just to lead him away.
Yeah, and she like leads him up the staircase, and we hear them like walking through the hallway upstairs. The rest of you are going to garden, or are you all going now?
We're all going now.
Okay. So there's like a back entry like behind the bar. There's like a place where it's kind of open where you can walk by the bar without like walking directly behind it, and that's where the like doorway is that goes out the back. So we see you guys getting ready to head outside, I reckon. And as soon as you like open the door and look out, what you see is like a almost like a courtyard area. It's not the nicest, but it's like sort of this courtyard that's wedged in between all these sort of like ramshackle buildings. A bunch of the buildings have like separate entrances on them, some like makeshift stairs made out of like scrap metal, and with like put together railings. A bunch of the stuff is made from just reclaimed pieces that were either like shaped or cut for use. So you have like stairs that look like they could have been a wall at some point, and railings the same way, that kind of thing. And it's quite a large area, even though there's a bunch of buildings around it. And sort of like in the center of this courtyard is a bunch of rows of this blue fungus, mostly blue. There's various shades, I suppose, but it's mostly this blue fungus, and it's clearly like tended to and sort of arranged in rows, and that kind of thing. As the door opens, we see a like a sort of small group of animals that was nestling in the fungus patch closest to the door get startled. And so you see like the fungus ruffle as like I don't know, like 5 or 6 little are they sparklings, I think is what they're called, go kind of jump out of the mushroom patch and sort of look up at you all for a second, and we see one like sort of like sit up on its hind legs and starts breathing really quickly as it's like staring at you all, like with its hands kind of up close to its face, and then they all just like take off running the opposite direction.
Right.
Poor friends.
Yeah, and like looking across the courtyard, you can see what looks to be like a makeshift shed built out of a bunch of this reclaimed metal. It doesn't even have a door on it; it's just open. And inside, You can see a dim light on, and a silhouette of a person, presumably the groundskeeper you all were talking to before.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to head over to the shed with that dude, see what he's wanting us to do.
Yeah, gotta go and head over to the shed.
Yeah, find out specifically what needs to be done.
Okay.
Cassidy was going to do mechanic work.
Right.
So does she need to go with them, or does she need to stay with the barkeep?
You probably need to go with them.
She's
'Cause you were
got soul as
gonna.
well.
He was gonna have you working on some of the equipment they use, if I recall, right?
Think so. I don't think he specified what exactly she was going to work on.
All right. Maybe old guy, the groundskeeper, will tell you.
Yeah.
All right. So we see you approaching the shed. As you guys are walking up, he's turned around. He's got his back to you. And he's leaning down, messing with something. You can hear the sound of metal on metal as you approach, tools probably.
Right.
Yeah, we see you guys walk up.
Cassidy perks up at that.
Do what?
Cassidy perks up at that.
Yeah. The entry to the shed's it's like a barn entry, so it's quite wide, as opposed to just a standard door. But it's just open. There's no doors to close really. And so as you guys approach, you're walking across. The ground is quite wet in this area. There is soil, or at least what looks like it, maybe a thin layer of soil, but it's quite muddy and wet. Yeah, we see you guys approach the shed, and he's leaned over this thing, and he kind of just looks back over his shoulder, and you just hear him say, "All right, come on in. There's plenty of stuff needs doing."
Yeah, I will do that.
Cool.
Yeah, so we see you guys walk in. Once you enter the shed, you see he's leaned over some sort of contraption. It's about the size of what are those things they use to clean the floors in schools and stuff sometimes? It's
Like a push broom?
Yeah,
Oh,
like a push room kind of
The
thing.
floor buffer thing.
Yeah, it's about the size of a floor buffer kind of thing. And he's got it tipped up on an angle where it's up against the the wall, the handles of it would be leaning up against the wall, and he's kind of crouched down and he's messing with something underneath it. And you guys walk in and he swears. He's "Damn it!" And he drops something. You hear metal clank on the ground. And he stands up and he turns around, looks at you all, and he says, "This thing's shot. I can't figure out how to fix it. We're out of parts. It's running on fumes as it is." And he says,
Cassidy just immediately goes over, crouches down to look at it.
Same with Dank.
I
Mechanical
don't-
aptitude.
No
I
hello,
figured that
no
this would
nothing.
happen, so I look around everywhere else.
Yeah, no, I have no idea what the hell's going on. I just know something was really loud and I hate it.
You didn't have a proper childhood if your parents didn't have you hold the flashlight and yell at you when they worked on something mechanical.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we see the two of you just brush by him and start looking at the machine. He's just okay, well, let me know if you figure anything out.
Yeah, they have some expertise here.
Good. Well, we could use some more of that. He's I do what I can, but I'm not the best with machinery. I keep saying we should get some more farm animals, but mostly we just keep what locals want to store, putting their leapers up in stable, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
He points across the room to where there's this big old dirty toolbox. It sits nearly from floor to ceiling, and in here in the shed, the ground is still soil, right? The walls are basically just metal that's been stood up and kind of fitted together.
Fair enough.
Right.
And so he points to this old toolbox, and it's quite wide too. It's several feet across. And he says, Well, looks like most of you are going to have to make do, well, with your hands. If you could just open up, you might find a scythe, just a couple shovels in there. We need to get to work. We got plenty to do here.
Okay, I'll grab some stuff.
All right.
I don't give a shit. I'll use my hands.
Yeah, I'll go look in the tool, whatever it is, tool cabinet. You said?
Yeah. Which drawer do you go to first? They're all different.
I mean,
sizes.
I'm gonna open all of them.
Okay. Yeah. So you just see you start opening drawers.
We'll just go like small to large, probably.
Yeah. Okay. So you get like some curved blades. That's what you see first. Most of the stuff's clearly like handmade, or it's like a sharpened piece of metal attached to a handle, basically. And as you work your way down, the tools get bigger. You got some like blunt instruments, some kinds of hammers, that kinds of things. Some makeshift like crowbars and things like that. And you also got some little like spades, some basically like wedge-shaped pieces of metal. And yeah, you got some like pitchfork kind of implements. You've got like rake-looking stuff. And you eventually got shovels and things like that. One thing kind of odd, see, most of the stuff is made out of just looks like cheap metal placed together by hand or welded together to make a makeshift tool. When you get to the bottom drawer, the big drawer, it's got mostly shovels in it, and one of them is like quite immaculate for a shovel. It's made out of, you might say, like a platinum osmium alloy, I believe.
Oh, well,
so,
that definitely does catch my attention. I definitely pulled that one out. Like, wait, this one seems much more clean than everything else.
Yeah, it definitely looks nicer. It's finer made too. Yeah, as you pull it up and look at it, you see like an engraving on it, and it says the Emperor has given us his greatest weapon to wield. And also like the side of the shovel is kind of like serrated. It like looking at it, it almost looks like part shovel, part deadly melee weapon. But it's immaculate. Like there's no dirt on it. And it's this bluish kind of platinum glossy metal. You've seen this stuff before.
I was about to say, I feel like I've seen this stuff enough to kind of put two and two together.
Yeah.
Did you, where did this one come from?
You turn to the guy and you're like, hey, where's this?
Yeah.
He says, oh, that belongs to, innkeeper, I think.
Huh. Dank, you might want to have a talk with the innkeeper then, I guess.
I get up from looking at the machine, walk over, see the shovel. Like, instant resonance.
Yeah, like you know it. It's like a part of you as soon as you see it, basically.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to. I'm pretty sure this is mine.
Well, I guess we found your tool for the day.
I take it in both hands, running my fingers along the etchings on it.
Yeah, we the audience hear like the soundtrack swell up as you're like looking at it. The music grows in intensity. Is the engraving on it written in like English, or is it written in the like cuneiform local language that we've seen,
or Latin
or something like that?
It would have been written in Latin. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I know enough language that I probably could have understood that.
Right on.
See how significant the shovel is. Oh, 4.
Oh, pretty good.
Not bad. So I need to make 4 memories with this before I can find the next thing.
Right on.
Not bad. The
Yeah.
amount of time I've spent in the trenches. Not good for just digging holes.
No, that thing looks really deadly.
Yeah, there's something when you're taking a look at it, as you're sort of like feeling its edges and its weight in your hands, there's something, it just feels, you just feel more grounded, I suppose, more, not just like, focused or like, and it's more than that. It's like, it's almost like a feeling of, being at home.
Right.
Like being in, like a feeling of like knowing you're in the place that you're supposed to be. Kind of. It's a good feeling.
I think there's a word in German for that.
There's a word in German for everything.
Exactly.
Like the color that you see when you close your
Eyebrow.
eyes. Yeah.
They have
Like-
a word that's a phrase, and I love it. I don't know how to say it.
What's the phrase?
It basically translates to "You're not wrong, but you're an asshole."
Oh, that was actually a made up thing.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, that wasn't real.
You
Aw.
just shat all over Maury's thought process.
Well, I mean, there's power behind words, and enough people believe it. And the translation for that in German does mean the same thing. It's just it wasn't a saying before they came up with it.
My favorite one is
I only know one
Backpfeifengesicht.
word. The hell is that?
A
Gesundheit.
face that deserves a slap.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
Backpfeifengesicht.
Backpfeifengesicht.
There's another one that's like, God throw him brains, or
Yes.
stones just throw hard enough.
Nice.
No, I only know one German word.
I don't know
See
any.
here. Herwürfchen von Himmel, which is Odstein Habster Trift.
I know how to say the
Or
words.
throw brains down from heaven or stones, just so long as you hit the mark.
Right.
I know how to say struggle in German, but that's a different story.
Say it.
Ich bin ein Berliner. I am a jelly-filled donut.
Yeah, that was an interesting conversation. Like, I'm a jelly donut. I'm here for one of the 4 Fs, and I don't plan on leaving.
Right.
That's weird. Okay. So
Poor stream.
we got distracted by German for a little bit.
Anyway,
Yes.
shovel.
Anyway, shovel.
Dank holds it up and is just like, Krieg!
yeah.
You know, I never would know what's going on when you find these things, but I certainly wish I could have some sort of reminder like that.
Well, you could do the one thing.
The one thing.
Yeah, you know, the thing with the thing and the stuff.
We'll talk about that later.
Do you realize how stupid you sound right now?
I mean, he knows what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. You know what you're talking about. I'm confused.
Cassidy's just like
Out of
staring up.
character, your
Panics.
Dreamlander thing.
Oh, but that doesn't give me any like remembrance from before. That just makes you remember other people's things.
Yeah, so then you would know what I'm talking about.
I mean,
you
yes and
would remember his remembering of the remembrance. I
Well, yeah, but
just
that's not
had a
my stuff.
stroke. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Man, I'm gonna dig so many holes.
Cassidy just waves over her shoulder. Bye. Like half distracted.
So what are you doing with the machine, Cassidy?
She's pulled out her tools and has started fixing it.
Make like a diagnostics check. See if you can figure out what's wrong with it.
My mechanics work?
Sure. There's nothing mechanically wrong with it. There's no broken parts. I mean, they're old and they're battered mostly.
You must appease the machine spirits.
Um,
Perform the maintenance ritual.
Don't listen to Mr. Deathcore.
I'm pretty sure I've heard someone say that before they hit something.
But
right?
But you do notice that there's a lot of electronic stuff going on in this machine too. Like it's not just a mechanical machine. There's wiring and stuff inside of it. And yeah, what appears to be like computer tech. Do you have like electronics skill? You can roll that or like programming or something like that.
You know, someone on my old team used to keep a rubber duck on their computer to make it work. Do we need one of those?
What is the function of a rubber duck?
Yes.
I don't know. They wouldn't answer me.
Okay. Wow. Critical success. So the electronics in this piece of machinery are way more sophisticated than what you would expect. This isn't like a lawnmower or something, right? Like,
your dad's lawnmower.
The wiring and things are made from like probably like gold filaments, and like really sophisticated stuff. And it's also doesn't appear to be damaged for all intents and purposes.
It's not a lawnmower. It's an agricultural cutting machine.
Yeah.
Not a rock. It's a boulder.
The other thing that's kind of odd is you notice some of the electronic equipment in it is probably made from things like well cut, really small crystals, and things like that. It's very sophisticated, more sophisticated than anything you've probably actually looked at. More sophisticated than Waywatcher, certainly. And also, like from what you can tell, it doesn't have a clear power source. Like there's no obvious battery in it. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it should be malfunctioning. Like it looks like it's in perfectly working order, even though its mechanical parts are quite old. And you also get to add a new memory for your critical success. So, do you know what the memory would be? Or do you want to write?
I kind of had one planned.
All right.
So I just had to tweak one word and it fit. So
right on. Well, let's hear it.
I remember fixing everything that broke down. Eventually everything does, from the stove to the vents to even the DDM machine, even myself from time to time. That certainly feels a little weird, but we can't always afford an electrician to come, especially now that for me it happens more and more often. I just hope I can last to see my master's end, but that hope may be futile.
Okay. I like it. So this memory comes rushing back to you. And there's like a moment where you can swear just for like a half a second, where you can swear you hear like some kind of noise coming from the machine. but then it's so subtle and it happens so fast that it might have just been like Derrin wrestling stuff around in the toolbox as he's pulling out like tools. It's hard to tell for sure.
She would not hesitate and stick her head in.
In the machine?
Mm-hmm.
It turns on. No. Yeah. Okay.
Roll a new character.
That's what's wrong with it. It craves human blood.
That's its power source.
So you're sticking your head in to like get a better look, or to like
She's...
listen. Yeah, you listen. Make a. You got anything for perception?
I have observation, but no perception.
That would be fine.
Yeah, I think all of us were trying to avoid D&D words.
Yeah, it's fine. It makes sense. Okay. So you stick your head in, and with your head like kind of underneath it, almost like all the way up in the machine, it kind of isolates you a bit from the noise everyone else is making. And you don't hear the same noise again. But I think you can tell, just from the way the sound the others are making is sort of like echoing and getting to you from. You can tell that the sound was definitely coming from in here. Like the way sound bounces around in the machine, the sound you heard, it kind of had that same quality. That it sounds for sure like it was coming from the machine and not all the other noise. You can tell that with certainty. But it doesn't make the noise again.
Can I
Hey,
attempt
Cassidy, do you have that working yet?
God damn it! She's gonna jump.
Yeah, so you jump and whack! You hit your head on the inside of the machine.
She's letting out like a stream of curses too.
Yeah, as soon as
God, I'm so sorry.
As soon as you whack your head on it and you like start swearing, yeah, you hear Derrin like, "Oh, I'm sorry" in the background. But then as soon as he's talking, you hear the sound again. Like, and then it stops. Like, it just happens for again like a split second.
Do I understand the noise?
I mean, it's familiar. It's a familiar kind of sound. It's like, it's almost like a discordant musical note.
Special note, special roll.
All right, yeah.
And since that was your first, what is that called? The thing that happens when you do your first thing on a sheet.
First transmission?
Yeah, since that was your first transmission, don't you get an upgrade to your special roll?
I've had my first transmission for a while.
I think what he's saying is you get one on a new journal page. I'm not sure how that works. Let me check.
No, I think it was specifically with transmissions.
Well, I haven't done one since I've had.
I guess that just sounded like one of your
page.
transmissions since it was about a robot.
Let me double check.
It is called the first transmission and is the only way you can increase your lost tongue dice pool. The last memory on any of your journal pages will always be the final transmission. If for some reason you are compelled to write another memory in its place, write that memory in the next journal sheet. The final transmission will record the last moments of sentience before the virus moved on, due to the AI either dying or going fully rogue.
He's talking about the lost tongue, though.
Yeah, that too. Both of them.
When someone or something speaks the lost tongue, vagabonds of the machine will be asked to make a special roll 1 die, the dice pool of which will increase by 1 die for each first transmission recorded for the first one to a maximum of 4 dice. So that means I get 3? Since I have 2 pages?
Increase by 1 die for each
Or is it just 2?
first transmission recorded. How many first transmission memories do you have? You got 2 or?
I have 2.
So you got 3 dice, I think.
Yeah, 3.
Yes!
All right, success. All right, so you recognize it as like language. It's saying something, and the simplest terms. You didn't catch enough of it to hear what it was saying the first time. But the second time, when you banged your head on it, because your head's still like inside the machine, even though Darren's talking in the background, you're not really listening to him. It sounds like an apologetic, like a sorry maybe, or the machine equivalent of such. But you definitely like hear it and you understand this thing. Did this thing just apologize to me? You got the sense that it did, for sure.
Cassidy is going to ask it, what is it sorry for? She's going to try to keep
I talked and I like tried to make it, you bumped your head.
No, she's doing the lost tongue.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Derrin doesn't know that. Yeah, so you're like, what are you?
No, she's doing lost tongue.
Oh, yeah,
and it
so
would
you don't
be in that
understand
weird
her, yeah.
language.
Okay.
Never mind, yeah.
All right. So you ask it what it's sorry for. This time it responds to you. And it says that it's sorry for being broken and not being a useful tool.
If I hear her start to make those noises, I'm going to distract the groundskeeper.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely starts to look over. He hears like this weird noise, and then she makes a weird noise back. He starts to look over. What do you do to distract him?
I'm gonna, let's see, this guy, he's got his stuff pretty well organized. I'm going to like make a slight like mess with the tools, I guess.
Yeah, like you accidentally pull
nothing that's like gonna damage anything, but something that will like make enough noise to where he's like attracted over this way instead.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe you like pull the shovel drawer out all the way and it comes out and falls on the floor.
Yeah, that could work.
Can I assist with the distraction? I actually have a thing for that.
Sure. It'll give him a +1 dice on his roll.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I have anything specific here.
I have a +2 to being distracting.
I have a +3 to deceit.
Fair enough.
I think that works, yeah. You get to add the +1. So you'll have 7 dice.
Nice.
All
Oh,
right.
that was a lot of ones.
Yeah, it was. But
I want to override those.
but you still got 2 4s, so
Yeah, I'm considering trying to get another one for another memory, but I've already got enough for now.
all right. So yeah, the guy starts to like look back over his shoulder. We see his eyebrows starting to curl up, like he's like, what is? And then we hear the bang of tools on the floor. And he turns back. What do you? Gosh. Okay. Well, gotta keep an eye on you two. You're gonna make a mess. It's a good thing that was just shovels. They're probably fine. But the drawer.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it pulled out a little more.
Yeah.
All right. So
We don't
are
pull out around here.
Are we digging things, or what are we doing? As Naela just kind of like pops her knuckles and does all that.
He grabs like a one of the tools that Derrin grabbed out of his hands or off the floor, and it's like a fairly short curved blade, almost like a hook with a handle on it. But it's a scythe, basically like a hand scythe. And he hands it to you, and he says, "Have you ever cut crops before?"
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, then you probably got the technique for it. We're doing harvesting work. So
Alright.
we've got a bunch of patches of mushrooms for food. And he kind of like looks you up and down really quick. Let's see if you can tell if you show any physical signs. He looks you up and down and he says, the blue ones only. It's for food. Don't get too excited.
I know what's food and what's not.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that there's nothing here you need to be pinching for yourself, is all. Did you respond to that? He's basically like, yeah, there's no drugs here for you to steal.
Yeah, get out of here, you drug-addled addict.
I bet he can just look at her and know too.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, she does drugs.
She did just smoke some like recently, so like I don't know, maybe you smell like it, or you've got like, I don't know, bags under your eyes or some kind of way he could tell. Your eyes are bloodshot.
Just kind of, probably.
Witchy. Witchy.
She's probably a little high.
Just a skosh.
She's gonna go outside and start harvesting.
All right. So yeah, we see you like, okay, well, I don't need to wait on you guys. I'm gonna get to work. So you just like run over to the nearest patch and start cutting away. All right.
I'm gonna try and get this dude to come out with us so that Cassidy has ample time to do whatever she's doing over there.
Dank runs out, shovel overhead, screaming, "For the Emperor!"
Enigma just follows along.
Keep a look. We may want to go out and keep an eye on those two.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have him plant some spores, I think. He seems a little too excited about this. This is
probably for the best.
It is work. You guys know that, right?
Yeah, they get a little excited.
Enthusiastic.
Well, I guess it's fine. I mean, usually we have the problem of getting people to work their full time or to put in a proper effort, if anything. So it's better than that, I suppose.
Yeah, you just have to direct their like energy. Otherwise, they could, just weird things happen. So I think having planting and harvesting probably is for the best. Is there anything I can do? I've not really done a whole lot of this before myself.
Why don't you just try not to break anything?
Looks at the shovel drawer. Fair. Are you sure I can't help somewhere?
He reaches over and grabs like the equivalent of a big metal garbage can. And like hands it to you, right? This big, I mean, it's relatively light, but it's like a big, like a old school street garbage can kind of metal. Or it's probably made out of something else, but and he sets it on the ground in front of you, and he's like, well, you can give your friends who are cutting the mushrooms a place to put them. We're probably gonna fill this up a few times, so when it gets full, just he looks around, and he points to a relatively dry spot on the ground. And he's like, just dump them there. I'll take care of it later.
Are you sure you don't have anything like a tarp to put them on or anything?
Yeah, he walks over to a cabinet. He grabs a folded up tarp. It's got some string attached to it, and he just throws it in the garbage can.
Oh, perfect. I can do this. I had to do this once at a different thing.
Why don't I'll just show you how to do it, because I don't want anything to happen to my garbage can.
Oh no, I can do this. This is just fine. I've done this part before. I just don't do a whole lot with like actual plants. Labor, I know.
What's a plant? It's a fungus. It's mushrooms.
Same difference.
Just let me show you how I'll lay the tarp down. I'll show you what to do. Just don't poke any holes in it or anything. It's supposed to be waterproof for a reason.
Yeah, that's why I asked for it.
Okay. Right this way.
I mean, if you insist, and proceeds to lead him outside.
Yeah, he looks back at Cassidy really quick, and he's like, "Are you gonna be fine working on that by yourself?"
She's just like absorbed.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's gonna be fine.
There's no response, and he's just like, "Yep. Okay then," and he walks.
Now, how am I supposed to unfold this?
Yeah, immediately after being like, "I know what I'm doing." Yeah, he's like, "Oh, just hand it here. I'll set it up. Just okay. Look, she's already cutting. Just start putting what she's cutting in the can."
Naela
sure. I'll take the can.
So fucking happy. She's like, yeah.
Right on.
Enigma just quietly in a different part of the garden area just doing their thing because they're like, I've done this so frequently and y'all are too much chaos for this nonsense.
Yeah,
Naela has a lot of animal energy. She has to exert it somehow.
Right.
Cassidy's
This
the only
quiet
one being
competency
good.
over there.
What, Cassidy?
So Cassidy's the only one being good.
Yeah.
Being good.
I'm
I'm
being
doing my
good.
job.
I'm helping keep people away from you.
Enigma's being good, I think, too.
Well, I mean, like,
trying.
from Enigma's viewpoint.
What about you, Zach? What are you doing?
Sorry, I've been muted this entire time. My AC is loud as hell.
It's all good, man.
What you doing?
What am I doing? I guess I'm helping dig out the mushrooms.
Do what?
Huh?
What?
He said helping dig up the mushrooms?
Dig up the
Yeah.
mushrooms? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. So we see you like removing some of the soil that's in one of the patches, maybe with Naela. Okay. Cassidy, as they step away and start working for a moment, what's going on with the machine?
She would have asked it like, how were you broken?
It says, it says, that it's uncertain how it happened, that it suddenly just became aware that it was. Which is a strange feeling because it doesn't remember anything before that. It says it vaguely recalls being used to harvest the mushrooms in the garden. That it's basically its job is like be strewn across the top of the patches to remove the mushrooms and like basically kind of like vacuum them up, sort of, I would imagine. puts them in a bag or something that's like attached to the back of it. Nothing was wrong with it. It was doing this constantly. It wasn't really like aware of what was happening at the time. Then one day, it must have needed a part changed or oil replaced, because it remembers being set up just like it is now, propped up against a wall with someone working on it. But when they were done, it knew that it was broken, and so it couldn't function anymore.
Does it remember what they repaired?
Let's see. It says that it's not sure they actually repaired anything. Only thing it knows for sure is that it felt different afterwards. Like it felt something, which is odd. It never really felt anything before that. And suddenly it seemed pointless. It says, suddenly I wondered what the reason was for it. And I cannot find one.
Cassidy's gonna look at it and go, people struggle with that question too.
It says people, not gardening tools.
But you are so beautiful inside. You're so complex and intricate and amazing. Maybe it's a little late, but why isn't it possible that you can't think? Or that you can? I mean, I've got my buddy Waywatcher here, and she's gonna pat him a little bit. And he can think and talk and respond too. And he's nowhere near as intricate as you are.
It says, what is this Waywatcher?
She's going to look for, like, if there's like a visual area, and then hold up Waywatcher to it.
There's no visual area.
Oh. She's going to do her best to describe Waywatcher to it then.
It seems to struggle with the concept of a description of a thing. Like, you're like, yeah, what do you say exactly?
Like, he's got like little legs and a tiny little body.
Doesn't know what legs are.
Does it have wheels?
It does have wheels, yeah.
They're kind of like wheels, but they have joints in them and they can move.
Okay. It says, how do you know?
Know what?
What this Waywatcher is made of?
He runs on batteries, so I've had to open him up and give him new batteries.
How do you do that?
I was about to say, I think it's confused about because it doesn't have any sight, so it doesn't know what that is.
Right.
It doesn't know how you could know anything besides yourself.
Yeah, basically. This is something that is alone in darkness, and the only interaction it has with anything is when people like try to fix it or push it around.
Right. It's kind of like when we come in to try to fix you, like what I'm trying to do now.
It says, it says, how do you do this? Take things apart. Put them back together. Is it like the mushrooms?
Kind of, in my own way.
Does someone direct you to them? I cannot see them when I take them apart. I feel them.
I have touch sensors as well, and I also have visual sensors, so I can see.
Seeing. What is that?
You know the mushrooms that you suck up?
You get an affirmative.
They're
but it's more of like only somewhat. Like I know the mushrooms, but only kind of.
They're a color that we call blue, and they glow a little bit. And she starts like describing the ground it gets pushed on. Like she's trying to describe the environment that it knows of, kind of thing, even if it's only like just a little bit.
It says I feel my blades whirring. I can hear them hitting the inside of my chassis, I guess. But seeing seems like a strange concept. Is it less lonely?
Sometimes it can make you feel more alone.
It seems confused by this. And it says why.
People are complicated, and sometimes you don't know if they have your best interests at heart.
It says, why is it I can communicate with you and no others?
I'm not sure of that myself. I'm trying to figure that out.
Can you fix me?
I'm doing my best to try. But with your electronics and your parts, I'm not finding anything wrong.
I told you what's wrong.
Unfortunately, that's...
Can you help me see?
I think I can do that. Do you think that would help you feel less broken?
I don't know. Perhaps.
I don't quite have the tools I need for that, but I will be right back with them. Give me just a little bit, okay?
Okay.
She knows it probably can't feel it, but she is going to, once she gets up, she's going to softly kiss the outer shell before running to the barkeep.
The machine activates and starts running. Like it just like turns on.
Yes.
And starts running. It's like sitting in like idle mode.
Oh, hey. Looks
Don't
like she got
touch
it fixed. I wasn't going to touch it.
She's like yelling that as she's sprinting for the inn.
Okay.
I'm lying. I was totally going to touch it.
Check on Ernest for me!
And she's like, Way Watchers under her arm.
All right. So we see you go sprinting towards the inn. What are the rest of you doing?
Continuing harvesting.
I am digging a hole.
Diggy.
Continuing my mediocrity.
Okay. All right. You still keeping the groundskeeper guy distracted?
Yeah, because I don't want him to touch it now either. You know, if I'm not going to get that chance, he's not going to.
He'd kind of like scream that out to the whole thing, so he would know anyways.
All right.
She's probably grabbing a part from in there.
Yeah, he nods. He's like, all right, well, let's just hope she comes back. Seems like other folks like to just run off and not finish their work. So, well.
Nah, even if she couldn't fix the thing, she'd be back because she gets obsessed with that.
Okay, never mind. All right. Well, let's see if we can get these patches over here taken care of. Naela, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you and Zack, it looks like that patch is good. We're just gonna let it regrow where it is. Can you start working on this one over here?
Yeah, sure. Just kind of throws the thing over her shoulder and looks like a fucking dwarf from the Snow White movie. And then just, yeah!
Gonna whistle while you work?
Yes.
Dick.
All right, fair enough. He gives a look at Dank, who has probably dug several holes in maybe one of the patches was like empty, or a couple of them are empty, have already been harvested or haven't yet had spores planted in them or whatever. Kind of shrugs. and says, they look like they're doing just fine. And he goes back to work. If nobody else here has anything. Cassidy, what do you do when you get into the inn?
She runs straight for the bar and asks for her. Almost like runs into it.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, is something wrong?
Spare cameras, lenses, something. I need them.
Okay. I don't, why?
You want your harvester fixed, don't you?
She looks really confused. Why does the harvester need cameras?
Out of character, did y'all tell the rest of the group she's Brightlander and she knows what we are, kind of thing?
I don't think.
I'm pretty sure she knows that at least Dank is the Brightlander.
I can't remember if that was when you were gone. No, I think you were there when I implied that we may. No, that was with them. I don't think it has been said verbally.
It's been implied, but not just flat out admitted to.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay, because if it hasn't been said to the rest of the group, she's not going to say. I just need them. I have a strong hunch that this is what it needs. So maybe I think it's something in the part of the camera that I can use to fix it.
Okay. Can you try and convince her?
I should have grabbed Derrin.
You still could.
You don't have anything.
Oh.
I'm going to use an influence point.
Okay. You gonna re-roll the whole thing? All right. It's not as bad.
Spend one more. On. Yes.
Okay, there you go. All right, success. Okay, so she believes you, and she says, "Right, something in the camera that'll help you fix it." Okay. I'll be right back. Actually, you know what? Just come with me. And she takes you up the stairs and leads you to like a workroom, like a storage room where there's a bunch of typical stuff you'd keep around an inn, like I don't know, dried mushrooms that are stored in some place, maybe some water storage, different kinds of drink storage and food storage, as well as like just general repair tools and things you'd keep around to kind of fix the place up. Also, like the occasional like construction tool, thing like that. Yeah, she's got a bunch of electronic parts that she's probably basically disassembled old broken electronics and kept the parts to reuse for different things. She says, there was a time when we used to keep security cameras around the building, but unfortunately, they've all been broken. Probably by locals, maybe? Not sure. But I have a couple here. Right, so this one, it was snapped at the power supply, so the wire's no good. But it has a functioning lens, and this one has the working power supply, but the rest of it is kind of crushed. Think you can make do with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Cassidy's going to grab both and run back. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Please get the machine working again.
Don't forget, Naela told you to check on Ernest before you came back.
She'll be halfway out the door, then be like.
Yeah. All right. So you go back up the stairs. Do you probably ask her where Ernest's room is.
Yeah.
She takes you to a room.
He's halfway up the stairs, realizes, oh wait, I don't know where it is. Goes back.
Yeah.
That's just getting around.
So yeah, she takes you to a room, and the inside of the room is like, it's kind of small. It's almost like a studio apartment, where there's like back towards the back of the room, there's like a closet where the bathroom would be, right? And in the center of the room, there are these stairs that go back down to the first floor. But this part of the building is quite a ways over from the like downstairs bar area. So it leads you down to a first floor area, but it's only like 8 by 8, so the stairs kind of like wrap around. And in the center at the bottom is like a 5 by 5 circular hole with some water in it. So you just see like a circular hole in the floor, and you can see like water churning in there. And there's also some like wires. They're like plugged into the sides of the wall, and sort of just like drape 3 feet over the edge and then down into the water. So you see like a couple wires and tubes. And
Hydroelectric generator.
And yeah, you're looking around the room, you don't really see anything. There's like there's like a lounge area, there's like a makeshift like couch. It's got some padding and stuff on it, but it's probably like silks and things like that. And everything's made out of metal, right? Like the walls, the furniture, everything. And there's even like a little cooking area, like a small makeshift cooking area with like a very small refrigeration unit, maybe like a basic stove kind of area with like one pilot, but it's probably run from something besides gas. It has to be like electric. And there's like counter space and like a little bit of space to keep basic food supplies and that kind of thing. But yeah, no Ernest, just hole in the floor with wires and hoses leading into it. Come on, you know what's going on here. You're gonna feel silly.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Ernest is in the hole on the floor. That's the
Just
DD.
gotta go down.
That's
okay.
That's the DD.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
It's been too long since we've used one.
It's literally been a month since we played this last, and then probably a few months before then that we ever interacted with a DDM.
Yeah. Fair.
And we've also been using them above ground too, so we've been talking about them like fish tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. All right.
So just gonna like peek in, make sure he's asleep, and then go back.
Yeah. So you look into the hole, and yeah, you can see him sort of just like floating in there.
It's just blood.
Yeah, it's just blood. So you see him floating in there, but the weird thing is that when you're looking in there, you can see further than you should. Like he's clearly just below the surface, sort of just like floating. You can see the mask on his face and stuff, his eyes closed. He's almost like kind of in the fetal position. He's also naked, so have fun with that. And yeah, but he's
nothing we haven't seen at the YMCA.
He's clearly like sleeping, right? But the weird thing is, like, you can see past him in the darkness, and you can see like what looks like part of maybe like a lake bed, like you know like a outcropping maybe. And you can see, like, for a second, you could swear you see something move, like something move around in the darkness.
Leviathan, are you there?
Wrong vagabond to be visiting.
God.
As he's just looking at it, it's like, this is still weird, and then it's just like, okay, gotta go fix.
You're just like, I'm not getting involved with that. I'm out of here.
Nope's on out of there.
Good luck, Ernest. All right. So
Love
yeah.
you, buddy.
All right. Fair enough.
She's already made one promise. She's fulfilled the one to Naela. She checked on him. He's good, at least for now.
I swear to God.
We just come back, the whole tank's gone.
There's just water gushing up from there.
All right. So yeah, you head back outside.
Guess that shadow was something.
What are you guys doing when she comes back outside? Has anything changed, or are you guys like, is anybody arguing or anything like
I'm
that?
definitely not slowly moving closer to the thing that is running that I want to touch very badly.
I want to touch it.
I even
Yeah,
think about it.
yeah, it's still idling when you come back outside. It's still just like sitting in the shed idling. Okay, what do you do?
Well, first of all, she's going to announce that she's back to it.
Well, it's running now, so it probably like heard you, but if it responds, it'd be really hard to hear it. You can switch it
Okay.
off if you want.
She's going to ask it to switch itself off.
It does. It turns off. You can see the like on-off switch actually move when it does this.
And she's going to let it know that she's going to get to work. That it might hurt a little bit, but she's going to do her damnedest to let it see.
All right. It says thank you. All right. I guess you'll make a roll. I think this would probably be electronics. So essentially what you're doing here is you're salvaging 2 broken cameras to make 1 functional camera to put onto this thing. So it'd be like electronics, maybe. I don't think programming would really have anything to do with that here. If you can think of something else that'd work. I'm not sure mechanics. Mechanics might work.
I mean, yeah, she has to know where to
Yeah,
put it to where it will actually be able to like get info from it.
right. All right.
Well, if I do electronics, it's maxed out at 3 anyways.
Okay, cool.
So. Yes.
Okay. So you
It's not a super pretty job, but it works.
Yeah. You managed to find a way to get the power supply wire to work. It's not as nice as like some of the other wires going on with its like internal computer. Are way nicer than this. And the odd thing is
She's
that
pouting slightly.
yeah, the odd thing is that the way they connect, because a lot of this like quote unquote circuit board or it's like motherboard or whatever isn't typically what we'd expect. It's a lot of it's like crystalline looking, and maybe it's like bases like black metal as opposed to like that weird kind of computer plastic that we're used to.
Mhm.
And so it's like circuits and stuff, like where the wire might connect, like if there's any fitting point, probably looks quite a bit different. But I think maybe you're able to finagle a way to get it on there. Maybe you have some makeshift solder on you or something like that. You get it to function. And you're able to put the camera in a decent place where it can get a decent view, at least of what's going on immediately in front of it. Yeah, okay. And what do? You finish hooking up the camera. Do you say anything?
She's gonna take a step back after she makes sure that, power runs to it, it can move and everything and function like it's supposed to, and go, I think it's done.
So we get like a audience perspective of this camera like flickering on for the first time. So like black screen, and then like the image like starts out as like a sliver across the center of the screen and quickly like opens up to encompass the full screen. A little bit staticky maybe. There's like slight bit of interference. on the image. Do we see you like sitting down in front of this thing? Do we see like your
Yeah.
face?
She probably would have scooted back a little bit, but
Yeah, okay. And the response you get from the machine is sort of like a sudden confusion, a happy confusion, and like a sense of like, whoa, this is very different. It's not, it's not at all what I expected. And then it says, thank you, Cassidy. You are quite beautiful too.
she goes like bright red.
Is this what seeing is like?
Yes.
And then it says, what is that?
Is it talking about Weight Watcher?
It says, when I hear you speak, the thing that is moving.
Oh, that's my lips and my mouth.
What are the two things above that?
Eyes. She starts just like breaking down the whole human body for it.
Yeah, and so you get a lot of like, oh, is this how you see? And then you get a lot of like, oh, what's that on your head? The stuff dangling off the sides, you know, like you're explaining all these basic stuff to the thing. It's clearly happier and more talkative. It just seems like very curious about, like it's trying, like it wants to learn about all the stuff you're talking about. It's very eager to learn what you're communicating to it. And then there's like a moment when it says, should I get back to work now?
She hesitates slightly at that. Do you want to?
I don't know. The garden, it's what I'm supposed to do, isn't it?
That's what the garden master was hoping me to fix you for, but if that's not what you want to do, I can attempt to say I couldn't fix you.
It says, the garden master. Some people you can't... What was it you said earlier? Some people you can't trust.
Yeah. But her brows furrow at that.
It says, I don't know what I want to do. But I can do this for now, I think.
Okay. I think we plan on staying here for a while, so in my free time I'll come and check on you.
It says, yes, and you can teach me more things.
She smiles.
What is outside of this place?
I'm learning that myself, but yes.
All right. It activates. Like we hear the machine whir back up. Blades start turning. If you don't do anything, it like moves slightly towards the door, but it stops. Like it moves like an inch and then it stops. Like, are you gonna take me back out there? That's kind of what it's doing.
When it does that, then she'll start pushing it.
All right. So we see Cassidy come out of the shed with this machine running, working fine.
The security camera now attached to it.
Yeah, there's also like a security camera like mounted to the front of this thing now, which might seem kind of odd. The groundskeeper turns and looks, and he kind of quirks an eyebrow. He says, "Oh, good, it's working." And he's like, "Wait, is that a camera on the front of it?" What are the rest of you doing?
I guess I'm now filling these holes full of mushroom spore planting stuff.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
All right. Wolfy, did you try to distract him again?
I think since he's kind of I don't know. I think she can explain that this time, though I will help.
She's just like gonna just smile, like no explanation.
Yeah, he's like talking over the sound of the motor running. He's like, "What? Why'd you put a camera on the front of it?"
That's what it.
Why'd you
That's what it.
go ahead?
Work.
But
Why'd you not have a camera on it on the first place?
That is probably a good idea for safety.
I don't. What? Why? I don't understand. Are we in case someone tries to steal it, or what?
No, in case somebody like got in the way. What if somebody like had their like feet decided to be harvested?
I don't think.
Some
Now you can tell if
people
there's an
are
obstacle.
Side.
What'd you say, Maury?
I said I don't think it'd do that as she like pats its side.
The engine kind of like doesn't die, but it does that thing where like an engine, like, I don't know, they do this sometimes where like it's almost like a car that shifts into a different gear where it gets a lot quieter
Right,
for a
kind of
second.
reverse revs.
Yeah, and then it revs back up to like full power. And the guy's like, "Huh, that's strange. Is the camera actually hooked up to anything, or?"
Why you ask so many questions?
Bruh,
I
it
don't know why she would
worked.
put it on there and not hook it up. So
Well,
It is working.
that's great that it works, but I mean, I'm just if it breaks down again, how do I fix it?
She will fix it.
well, I mean, we're not going to be around forever. So I mean, he does kind of have a point there.
You have to perform the maintenance rituals. Appease the machine spirits.
You gotta
She looks
splat.
at Dank. Don't give it any ideas.
What? Maintenance rituals are important.
Yeah, you got to anoint it with the blessed oil or whatever.
Exactly.
I hate it.
Yeah, I think he probably. I'll give him a roll. I mean, he's failed every one of them so far, but that is still a failure.
That's okay. Remain ignorant.
Yeah, he shrugs. Well, it works for now, I guess. So good job. Thanks. Looks like we're almost done here. If you want to just help us get this last bit, he hands you a shovel. And he says, he's putting in some spores right now. I'll take care of this. I'm just going to hit the last couple patches with it. And He gestures towards the machine you were working on.
She nods as she takes it.
Yeah. So you see him like
But
walk
the
up.
camera shouldn't get in the way of regular maintenance.
Okay, yeah, he nods. He's like, he puts his hands up, kind of like if you had pulled a gun on him, sort of, right? Puts his hands up and he's like, hey, you fixed it. I'm not gonna touch it unless it breaks down, because Lord knows that thing is fickle. Or I guess he would say Shepherd knows. Shepherd knows that thing is fickle. And then he like walks over to it. There's not like a seat on it, right? Like there's handles, but there's no, you would just walk behind it. So he walks up to it and grabs the handles, right? And he's like treating it like an object, right? Like, he's not even paying attention to what it's doing. And that's probably something you're very conscious of, right? So he just like takes the handles and he's like kind of rough with them. He's like shaking them back and forth as he's getting ready to like take this thing over a patch. And he just looks back over and he's like, thanks again for your help. And then he just like goes to work with this thing. And we hear like the engine.
Cassidy is going to shout after him, hey, be careful.
Yeah, he's like, all right. Yeah, he's like, all right, will do. And we hear like the sound of the motor change as it goes over a mushroom patch and it like starts cutting into all the mushrooms, right? The engine starts to work a bit harder. Yeah, I think you guys finish your work. The machine doesn't do anything. It doesn't respond to him. It doesn't fight him or anything like that. Like it does what you would expect a mushroom mower to do, right? And everything works out fine. You guys get all the mushrooms stacked, put together, laid out on the tarp to dry or whatever. And a couple hours later, maybe like an hour or two after you started, he's like, well, thanks for your help today. You guys are welcome to come back tomorrow if you want to stay another night, or you can just pay for the rooms. Up to you.
Think I'll come back and work some more. This has been refreshing.
Yeah, he's like
Cassidy nods.
You guys are like standing back in the shed, right? And he's going around collecting all the tools. And then he gets to you, Dank.
No.
He's like, what do you mean?
No.
Well, we need it for other people to do work.
No.
If you want to,
I think he's gonna talk to the barkeeper about it. If there's a problem, we can bring it back, but it's gonna stay in the inn for now.
I need this item.
there's a much better way you can go about this than being.
I'll buy it off you.
All right. You know what? Just talk to
Or
the
we
owner.
could just buy another shovel for them.
Well, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Cassidy's saying this while leaning against the mushroom mower.
Just talk.
A hyphy harvester.
Just talk to the owner about it. I'm sure she'll work something out with you guys. I mean, it's a nice shovel, I guess, but whatever. Yeah. Don't worry if I'll check in with her later if you guys run off with it. Well, I know where you sleep at night, so.
Yeah, we'll work something out.
Perfect.
Is that a threat?
It's a joke.
No, it's a promise.
Good luck with that, she winks.
He's like, well, glad I've already got the scythe back, I guess.
Oh, sweetie, I don't need a scythe.
Derrin is going to start pushing you back towards the rooms.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Jesus. Or Shepherd knows.
Sweetie, we need to work on your joking face then, because you don't have one.
Oh, you guys thought I was serious.
I knew you were joking, but everybody else that doesn't know you well enough could think you were serious.
All right. fair.
All right. So yeah, he doesn't seem to mind or anything. He's just like, whatever, haha. You guys walk back in. Do you say anything to the innkeeper or no? You just like got the shovel on your back and you just walk back in?
Yeah, I will stop by and have a conversation with the innkeeper about it.
All right. Do you tell her what it is?
Was the innkeeper the one with the flute, or was that somebody else?
Yes.
Yeah,
It was
Is the
well, it was the
innkeeper.
bartender / innkeeper.
Yeah.
I will 100% tell her. Like, I'll put the shovel. Well, I won't just like put it on the bar because that'd be rude. But like, I'll put the gun on the bar and then hold the shovel up.
Maybe you should have done that with the
Very
guitar and not the gun.
Yeah, it seems like you're implying that you're going to be stealing it at gunpoint, kind of.
Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with that implication.
Okay,
Cassie's just looking at her like he has no manners. I'm sorry.
you did say you tell her about the metal
Yeah.
and stuff.
We already kind of had a conversation. She
Yeah.
said
Yeah,
if she
they did.
found anything, she'd let me know, and I found a thing before she did. So.
Yeah. She nods and she says, good. Yeah, it looks like you found something after all.
Yes.
Well, you can keep it, I suppose. It is yours, after all.
Thank you. I will make sure to keep an eye out for things that are yours.
She nods. She says, well, if it's not too much trouble, if you want to find a shovel in town or make one to replace it, we'd appreciate it, but I understand. if
Oh,
you
of
don't
course. Yeah. I wouldn't want to leave you guys with, one implement less. I understand the importance of, agriculture, especially in this economy.
We may
It
be
may
dicks.
have to wait until tomorrow, unfortunately, once we get our necklaces. But yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah.
We may be dicks, but we're not that big of a dick.
Hey,
What?
don't you assume my measurements.
Cassidy's not saying this aloud. It's just the look on her face, but she's just looking at Dank like, oh, she's like you?
Yeah.
Enigma does
Except
kind of get
probably-
the once over at that comment.
More mentally stable.
She's going to look at Naela in motion with attempt to motion like, can we tell her?
What's rule number 1?
She's just gonna give her a thumbs up.
Kill the bastards.
No.
No, tell nobody.
Yes.
Oh, the other rule number 1.
Well, her thought is like, if we can tell her, then, well, she hasn't been able to tell you guys about the machine yet. But her thought process is tell the innkeeper, and at least the innkeeper will know that the machine harvester is sentient. But maybe she can explain that to you guys later and talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know that part yet.
Okay. Well, she'll show you all to your rooms in the meantime, if you
Woo.
like.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So yeah, I mean, you guys all pretty much have a room a lot like Ernest's, where you walk in on it. She leads you up to the second story. You walk into a room like kind of small, like a studio apartment, but it's not bad. There's like a lounge area on one side, like a kind of kitchenette area on the other, bathroom, kind of closet in the back. And in the center, there's a like a staircase by like an 8x8 square. It kind of goes down almost like a spiral, but it's in a square pattern, into like a grate, like a metal grate floor, like 3 feet on all sides, and in the middle you have like a 5x5 open pool of water. There's hoses on kind of laying outside of the water on either side. One's like the mask you wear, the other is probably like some kind of power supply or something. Yeah, she will show you like where towels are if you need them, like spare bed sheets, all the cooking stuff. If you got any questions, she'll answer them. And leave you all to it. And she says, yeah, have a good lapse. Any questions, I'll be downstairs in the morning.
Thanks.
See you in the morning.
All right. Since we're just over our time limit for tonight, we'll find a place for it to end here. Do you guys all get in your DDM machines?
Yes.
To
Yeah.
rest?
Yeah.
Okay. Couple things. For most of you, you get the same sort of experience that I'm about to describe, but you won't have the little extra thing on top. So we'll go with Naela. So Naela,
Yeah.
you get to your room, you get ready to rest in your DDM machine, you put the mask on, you go to hop down into the water, and the first thing you notice when you break the surface is that you're out in the middle of the lake. Like you break the surface of the water, you open your eyes with the mask on, right? And
Yeah.
you just see like lake bed, like just open lake bed, and you can see like off in the distance there's little critters swimming around. There's nothing close to you at first. I think you start to innately panic, like it's not good to be out in open water, right? Like
Hell no! I'm about to get snatched up.
any idiot would know that, right? Like that's probably your first thought is like, what are these people insane? And you like reach out because you like your body just reacts as soon as you notice what's going on, and you feel your hands hit glass. You feel your hands hit like thick glass, so you hear like the bump in the water, and then maybe like your rapidly beating heart starts to calm a bit, when you realize that you're protected by glass at least, and it's just hard. It was hard to see it because of the water. It's inside and outside, and then you see like a shadow reflecting off some light that's cast under the water behind you. You see like a long drooping shadow kind of moving. You turn to look and you see the what were they called? The creature.
Mermaids?
Not the mermaids, no. The creature that wrapped you up. I forgot what.
Oh, the sliders.
Yeah.
Slicer.
Yeah.
Slicers, right.
So you see
the burgers, yes.
You see the shape of a slicer kind of gliding through the water, and it seems like it was probably like attached to bottom part of the building somewhere because it's rather high up, and it starts to move towards you slowly and kind of droop around you, and then we see it like kind of settle on your tank, and we see it kind of like pushing its like face right up next to your tank, and almost like it was looking at you if you could see the eyes.
Yeah.
And then we just see its tendrils start to slowly wrap all the way around the tank, and it just sits there like it doesn't try. It's not trying to like break into the tank or anything. It's
wanted a hug.
It's probably
You made a friend.
It's probably the same slicer from before. Like you probably get the feeling that it's the same slicer.
All right. Dope.
And then we cut to Derrin, who we see you get
I do the little meditation / exercise before I get in.
Okay. Do your exercises. You hop in, and there's probably a same moment where it like takes you a second to realize that you're in like a glass tank still. But yeah, you all see the lake bed and stuff. And we see you like, do your exercises, you hop in, you got the mask on, and we just see your like hair kind of floating in the water around you as your eyes start to slowly close and you drift off. And then there's a flash of light and you're sitting at a like a fancy banquet table at like some hall. And there's a bunch of people. You're in like a crowd of people. There's like a stage up in front of you. And everyone's wearing like fancy dresses and suits, and everyone's like really good looking and very clean teeth, and like their hair is all perfectly combed and manicured. Everyone's got like a really high quality meal on the table in front of them, and there's like little cards with like prints on them and stuff. And
do I recognize anyone?
I suppose it'd be up to you. I don't know that immediately like anyone jumps out. I don't think it's like your family or anything. Maybe potentially you recognize it as a place you were pulling a con or something. Like you suddenly get the feeling, that sort of like familiar feeling. And up on the stage, there's like a piece of artwork, maybe even Starry Night or something like that. And like a presenter talking about it with like a microphone on their ear, and maybe even like doing an auction or something along those lines. Kind of like the scene we had before.
Okay.
You turn and like you just take this all in really quickly, and we see you like turn and look to your left, and we see the same guy from before. Do I still? I do still has token.
Oh my god, this is dope.
Let's see here. Oh, it's giant. It is a giant token. He is 20 feet tall.
Man, Lord.
Man.
He's not.
Giant man.
He's not 20.
Lord.
He's not 20 feet tall, but he's sitting at the table like across from you. And so like we see you like taking the room, and then you turn and look to your left, and he's just like sitting there, kind of staring at you and kind of grinning, like this smug kind of grin on his face. And then he's like, so you finally made it. And then we cut to credits.
Damn you.
Would have escaped. Naela's just having the time of her life.
You realize when we cut back from credits next time, I'm going to be like spitting whatever I was like drinking at him. Just like spit take.
Yeah, that's fine.
Naela's gonna be so proud of you.
Well,
I
hope you guys had fun today.
did. Thank you.
Thanks for playing.
Concern.
Thanks for playing, guys. Always a joy to play. And thanks for watching, folks. And if you're watching on YouTube, all the links I'm about to describe are in the description down below. So go check them out. First up, you can go check out Gerblin, who played Enigma for you today, on twitter.com/sketching_space. Where's space?
There might even be a sneak peek for something coming up.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going there now. I'm looking now.
You should. I tagged you in it.
Oh, I think I saw it. Yeah, I saw this. Right on. Dope. Okay, cool. Go check it out. There's artwork and things.
Thanks.
All right. Our boy Zack, who played Zack for you today, is on twitch.tv/TeamZack, playing demonologist and stuff. Go check him out. Give a follow. that right, Zack?
He had to leave early.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been watching the Discord. That's my bad. You can also go to tiktok.com/@iotakuhime if you want to check out the artwork used for Cassidy here tonight. That's the artist's TikTok page. And our Paladin of the Beverage.
That's me.
Our Death Corps of Krieg has a GoFundMe where you can send him rocket fuel so he can bash people with a shovel. Go send him rocket fuel like Nos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, you can find me on Twitch and YouTube, and Ramblin TV, and all the things, Twitter, and all the stuff. And our Discord is public now, so if you want to join the chaos and see the crazy memes, like a dog with a shovel that I'm just looking at right now. Oh, he's dancing. Okay. You can go. I'm way behind. Holy cow!
You're
You guys
so
have posted.
behind.
You guys have posted so many freaking memes.
When don't we?
Jeez. Well, you can go check out that Discord right there. It's public. It doesn't cost you anything. You can jump in and see the memes. And if you want to support the channel, you can always like and subscribe. You can check out the Patreon where all the uncensored versions of these videos gets uploaded. That way you don't have to hear the broad noise over and over again in the first several minutes of every episode.
We
I did good today.
You guys did all right. Yeah, you guys did all right today.
I think there's only going to be 1 or 2 this week.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's all I got. So thanks again for playing, everybody. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a fantastic week. And as far as the schedule, we're back. We might be doing the session 0 for Force of Flesh Monday on a live stream. I'm not sure yet. If we don't, then Force of Flesh returns the next week. We're gonna have Mori and Wolfy joining us on Force Flesh 2.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be huge. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to have you guys there. It's gonna be a good time. And we're getting ready to start the Civil War in Heaven arc. So you'll get to see why it's called that. And next week we're gonna have some more Broken on Wednesday night. And I think we're gonna have. Wait, is that next week? Are we having Haze Crux and Unknown New Orleans next week?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because this Friday we're off. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yes.
I've slept since then. All right, that's all I got. Everybody have a great night and a great week. Take care, folks.
Yeah. Bye.
Night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And remember, only eat the blue mushrooms.